Come on. Yeah. Come on.
Hey y'all, back on another Unfiltered Two Black Women. I'm one of your co-hosts, Lya.
And I'm Dana James.
So we are giggling because not only have we had a whole conversation, but we didn't have to restart. So Riverside, we're gonna need to have a conversation with you at some point. Now, that's part of my 50 and filter. Like my filter is gone. Like watch how you step to me these days, cause yeah, I'm on a
You match energy.
I'm matching it all the way. I got my little two fingers, because what you did to me, I'm going to do to you. Okay?
Everything you touch.
Okay.
Right.
Happened recently, true story. So if I need some bail money.
We got you, girl.
Because, man, it's hard. It's like, I love that there's so many women before me that I've gotten to listen to. And when society keeps trying to make women always be nice, like, what has being nice really gotten us?
Nothing.
Everything. Even when I was recently listened to a podcast that brought up may she rest in peace, Asada Shakur. And I think about that lady wasn't trying to be nice when she was trying to get us these rights with Black Panther, and the fact that she was able to be in Cuba, however you all want to pronounce it, I'm Southern. But the fact that she got to live out the rest of her days there fighting for what was right, meanwhile, trying to deal with all the political agendas that are happening we're still facing a lot of them now. They didn't disappear, right?
Nope. They're still there. We're still fighting
So
to vote, to do everything.
Man, and have autonomy of your body. And these laws keep legislating. Is to me kind of like, okay, what's going to be new? I do feel like it's the Hunger Games for those that have seen that movie. I do feel like it is always like, well, what's next? What's going to happen? I don't want to ask because we already getting through Cyclospora, lettuce. I really miss you because I do enjoy eating my vegetables, and to not have access to that because I want to lose weight.
Let me tell you something though. Those fries will never do you like that. Those fries, you're never going to see them on that recall list. So,
but I keep my cholesterol.
I know. I'm just saying.
I can't,
I'm just saying.
It may not donuts and cakes as well. However,
yeah, cake ain't going to do you like that. They ain't going to give you something like that.
No, it's going to give
you. It's going to kill you slowly.
It's going to give you other stuff.
It's going to kill you slowly over time.
Speaking of people being in their 50s, we got to do the iconic concert at the State Fair. I don't know about you. I didn't get to sit with Dana. She sat with our lucky winners of the concert. And man, them songs came. I did not sit down. I got my exercise in. It brought me back to them 90s. And I was just like, it was a good time. And I feel like if we had any political things amiss, I was not aware of it. Life was good. Life was great. And to have that memory come back up, and the fact that, man, I'm gonna lie, when they got ready to do the song Push It, I was kind of hoping y'all show me y'all can get down and do the little get back up. but we did what was within our age group. And the fact that it was a packed concert.
Packed.
Okay, now for those
and very diverse concert.
That's where I was gonna go. Mm-hmm. I don't always say stuff the most diplomatic way, but the fact that it is in Iowa, you already know it is tons of white people. So yeah, we don't represent the only two Black people in Iowa. Let's be clear, it's just in our name. However, to be in that concert, and that was who was down in the VIP section. I was like, not salt, and then T-Boz, her getting to do a shout out to the fact that she was from Des Moines, and like my Black girl Magic Carter was like, that is a beautiful full circle moment for her to have to get to come back, and maybe she has. I'm not trying to say I know all the history, but to have a sold out show at the Iowa State Fair, which I still kind of was your take, because I know you go back and forth between Minnesota. Whose fair is really the largest?
I don't know if it's about the largest, but I definitely will give Iowa their shout out. Our fair is awesome and, growing and, breaking attendance records. And this fair was very diverse in terms of the music. And that's the part that I really like, because not only, we had TLC, In Vogue, and Salt and Pepper, but the Sugar Hill Gang, so the start of hip hop, and Melly Mel and Scorpio. And that was a free concert again. That was packed too. And everybody was just vibing. It was a good time. All those old songs, and just really enjoyed it. So we have to shout out the State Fair this time. It was really good. I also like Minnesota State Fair, and Iconic will be up there. in September. So
Oh, I
if you,
know.
yeah, so if you didn't get a chance to check out the concert while it was here, you've got time to go to Minnesota State Fair to check them out there.
I'm gonna put that in my memory bank because sometimes one thing I will say, so don't come for me, but because it ties into school, right? The Iowa State Fair happening in August. I'm like, y'all chose the hottest month in the year to go do the fair. And so when people ask me about going to State Fair, I'd be like, and my star of the show was my neck fan. I had more people come up to me to ask me about my fan and also my glasses, not the pair I have on, but they were impressed. It was like, I see all these women walking around here with fans. I'm like, yeah, because it's hot.
Right.
Like, and
that was a different kind of hot. That was a like I'm melting, I'm finna die type
it
of
was
heat.
sticky hot because
Mhm.
the
After the fair shower is the best shower in the world because it just gives you new life.
Look, I'm glad you talk. Listen,
It's the best.
not only did I ride that bus and I hated it, I had to leave a little sooner because I wasn't trying to be, missing no bus at midnight. But soon as I hit the door and I got down, I was like, I did not know the shower could feel. I was grateful, okay?
Yes.
Which I know we were sticking to one thing, and I'm gonna make it tie in. But it makes me feel very concerned that there are people right now who are not having access to water with Gary. So I'll leave them on. But back to school. So fun fact that I learned is that school here does not start until the fair is done. And I was like, people had this thing planned out because in the South, school usually did not start until after Labor Day.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would end right up around, I guess, spring-ish or whatever, because a lot of times families had to get back outside and farm.
Mm-hmm.
But in Iowa,
they get waivers. School districts get the waivers, right, to start before after the fair is
they
over.
do it after the fair because I know for us, it's always whatever the first weekday it is after the start of the fair. That's when school starts, and it seems to be the trend here in Iowa. And so I was like, okay,
Minnesota too. They start theirs after their fair. So their fair is coming up, and they go back to school September 8th. So similarly,
but it makes a good thing. But speaking of back to school, so now we back to school, and I feel like again another part of the Hunger Games because the way these policies and laws have been having to come out. Speaking of someone that I'm on a policy committee and having to keep addressing different things right now. I'm gonna need some of the parents, and you know who you are because you become Google attorneys. That recently a headline came up about the pride flag being in the 6th grade classroom
in West Des Moines.
Des Moines, but the parent was from Pella. So I'm trying to understand how the Pella parent, how were they affected? And it wasn't even an actual 6th grader themselves. And then I think a lot of times people get so caught up on stuff because I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, do flags really, like if I'm going to just throw it out there on the limb. If I was out here with the Confederate flag, is that really going to turn me into a particular individual? Like, what does that really do for a person? Because people are using the flag as symbology that you're trying to encourage someone to be gay in this particular situation. And I thought, we're doing too much these days. Like, we're putting too much.
Well, I mean, the Confederate flag, that'd be different because, again, they lost. And again,
she was like waiting on that one.
Yeah, I was waiting on that one. And, that's not a flag that we should be supporting. And so down with the Confederate flag. But I think, again, we're seeing more and more over the last several years, these parents are carrying out their own essentially propaganda that they want these schools to be a certain way, and they're trying to impose their will upon the whole, but yet and still they feel so aggrieved, like someone is doing something wrong to them. And so I think you're going to continue to see more of this. We're going to continue to see people, following the Project 2025, trying to really make it come to life. And so the school districts, that's just another way that they are trying to implement their will on, the masses. They're doing it, in the big votes, but all the way down to these smaller school districts and city councils and boards and things like that. They're trying to impose their will of making the country way more conservative than maybe some people want. And we'll have to.
But the fun fact behind that is, so if you don't know now, you're going to know. School boards are not a local or city government, so they get to operate under a different authority, and they're also nonpartisan. So it's not like it's now. Don't get me
They're
wrong.
supposed to be.
The way voting is these days, it is kind of a little more controversial. However, the goal at the end of the day is to just be as equitable and fair to all students.
But
And
that equitable, that's a bad word now, remember?
but not on our podcast.
Well, right, not for us, but it seems like everyone else feels like equity that's a slur in a way, and it's ridiculous.
I've gotten to a point now, it's word salad.
They
And
don't think that equity, they think that, I think the masses think that equity means that they have to give up something in order for someone that they've kept from receiving something,
Mhm.
they have to give something up. And, where's the fairness in that?
But a
That-
lot of people are FAFO, right?
yes, they are.
The more you go and try to snuff something out, you find out and this is not its own topic still, where you see a lot of people like, well, I've lost benefits and I've lost that. Yeah, because now that it affects you, now you got a problem. But when people were trying to tell you, you're not thinking this all the way through, you're going to cause this, you thought, oh, it's just going to be this smaller group of people. And a lot of people are finding out they're missing out on benefits. People who had disability no longer have that. Like, DEI didn't just stand for like people get all these rights. It incorporated and included people who were not also all able-bodied, and not all disabilities are physical either. So we're finding out because back to school in general. I like the article that you put out, by the way, in Black Iowa, and about when our kids are back in school was another thing that we were going with is that the focus shouldn't be on how much Jamal has energy. And I just use that name. The focus should be on is the child learning and can you pronounce their name correctly? Because that's been my thing. Like I recently had that this week and I looked and I thought I purposely put pronunciation with parentheses. I do it on name tags. If you ever see me anywhere, I got a parentheses. And I see people about to say it and I just look at them like there's a last name behind there. Or my encouragement is say to a student, hey, I have this name, spell it out. I don't know what you're going to do for kindergarten, but spell it out and say, does those letters sound familiar? Is anyone can pronounce it? Because 9 times out of 10, students are in classes with their peers that they've known for a while. I loved when I was growing up in elementary, I had a friend, her name was Nichelle. I'll give you Nichelle spelling. Knacchaelle. Now, the cool thing about myself and her is, K and L, we right here in the alphabet, but we also had the same letter and last name. So no matter what, we had each other back. And we were able to, I was like, no, it's not Nichelle, it's Nichelle. No, it's not Lya, it's Lya. And that was victorious in a sense. And no, you don't get to shorten my name to make yourself feel comfortable, because if you can pronounce, and I ain't gonna even try, I can't pronounce all these fantasy names on Game of Thrones. But the fact that people can pronounce fantasy names, but you cannot figure out how to pronounce other names. Now, I am one, I follow my sword, honestly. And the fact that as a Southern person, I'm doing my best. You're just gonna get a different accent to it, but I promise I have heard it and I'm saying it. What's your thoughts about back to school a little bit?
Well, I think, people used to always say, well, if you can pronounce, Tchaikovsky and things like that, then you can pronounce, kids' names. We know names are important, and mispronouncing them or shortening them it's disrespectful. And if you're doing it to only certain groups of students, I'd say that's racist too. But, when I wrote that piece, it's on Black Iowa News' Facebook page. If you go see it, it's just really about wanting, Black kids in particular to go to schools where they can thrive and where they're seen as children, where their innocence is preserved. And we already know, our kids are adultified and things like that. And they don't get the chance really to have their innocence uplifted. But we need these educators. Everybody that's in the building is an educator, because they are, and we need them to, view our kids with kindness and view our kids with grace, really is what I'm thinking. Because we all know you give it a little more time. We know we're going to see those headlines where some stupid teacher somewhere has decided to do a slavery reenactment or has decided to do some sort of quiz with slavery terminology and things like that. And there's better ways to teach those things. And so, yeah, I wrote it for that, and I kind of trot it out every year just because we need people to, when they go back into these schools, that's our tax dollars too at use in these schools. So we can and we do demand that our kids receive the best education possible and the best treatment possible. And that, like I say in there, no matter what that teacher thinks, these children, no matter what the data show, these children, their futures are spotless and yet to be determined. And you cannot look at a student and come up with this whole little scenario in your brain about what you think they come from or where you think they're going to end up. And so I hope that just educators trash that and look at each student on their own and have their best interests at heart. Or, if you can't do that, then go push some paper somewhere.
Or another thing I used to think, and these are things that have been school related for me, is a lot of us have both like it's welcome back, and a lot of questions. I was like, "What did you do for your summer?" Well, depending on where you live at, some kids and went and traveled out of the country. Some children have and then there's kids who they just spent the summer swimming every day. And if not, some of them were just surviving because everyone doesn't come from a similar background. But back to that word equitable. If you can just meet a child where they're at, I think that should be the main expectation. And then leading into homecoming. One of the other things I had is sometimes on Spirit Week, they would want to do like a crazy hair. And I'm like, for a Black girl, we have to prepare our hair. We don't get to just say, such and such is on Friday and be ready. Because some days that is not a quick wash and shampoo, okay? Or wash, whatever you like to say. A shampoo and conditioner, and bam, like you gotta be like, okay, well, how I want to look. You gotta come up with a style. Or if you in the 50 club and you sweat, sometimes you just gonna be stuck with an afro. But when you're trying to get these kids to do a crazy hair day, really keep in mind kids get to really participate and get creative at the last minute. Or give people enough time. Like if you know you're gonna have school colors or pajama day. Some kids don't have pajamas or may not wear them. But find things that if you're trying to incorporate a spirit of sorts, find a way to really incorporate that kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
there might be kids who've never even been to a football game, But anyway, I diverse. So we are in the throes of back to school. Me as a parent, so I ain't gonna be on here too much longer because I gotta get out here and do a school pickup. Now we need to get into some advertising.
Yeah. So Black Iowa News, definitely. We have spots available in the upcoming newspaper, on the website, email newsletter. We can create campaigns for you, expand your reach across all of our different platforms, including social media. So we really encourage any listeners to think about having your church advertise with Black Iowa News and join our church directory. Look at businesses in your neighborhood and in your community and city and encourage them to advertise with us. It kind of does two things. It helps Black Iowa News keep going, hire interns, pay for interns, website, newspaper delivery, and also it helps promote these businesses and promote the great things that Black Iowans are doing all across the state. So if you want to know more about advertising with Black Iowa News, you can reach out to me, Dana at blackiowanews.com or ads at blackiowanews.com. And we will definitely come up with a campaign to help you expand your reach. And then we also want to just shout out and thank all of the different nonprofits, organizations, businesses who've advertised with us in the past. So thank you for that. And again, you'll be able to pick up a new Black Iowa newspaper coming in September. And if you want to see Black Iowa News before then, join our email newsletter. You can go to blackiowanews.com, click on newsletter, and then you can receive our weekly email with all of our stories.
And what I feel like I want to make sure I heard correctly. Don't forget if you're out here trying to campaign, because we are hot in the middle. If y'all know Iowa, it is political campaign season. You can't even get on Disney or Hulu without somebody political ad coming across your page. we didn't get into it, but or you might have people knock on your door who feel entitled, even if you have no solicitations on your door. Don't get in trouble if you are somebody out here campaigning, but you can also put in your political ad too, as well, to make readers know more about who you are. Always just doing mainstream does not always get people, because there are some people who do not partake in social media beyond what they can partake in.
Or they may not take that mainstream newspaper. And again, our votes matter, our thoughts matter, what we want matters. And if your campaign wants to connect with us, you have to come to the vehicles that we use to communicate. You need to be seen in Black Iowa News. And the newspaper goes, statewide, border to border. Lots of people read Black Iowa News who aren't Black. So if you want to reach Iowans, we invite you to advertise with us.
All right. Well, another wrap of Unfiltered, two Black women called. Almost went and said it again. Well, if y'all know, y'all know. But thank you guys for tuning in today. Take care.
Yeah, thanks.
Come on.